Man, that turn signal, it's a little obnoxious sounding. Engine sounds good. Decent acceleration. I mean, it's not a fast vehicle. Let's see if I can kind of slow down here and re-accelerate. Nobody behind me. Yeah, it feels solid. It doesn't feel, I mean, it's not like super fast, but it gets up to speed fine. Shifts really good. So yeah, I was pretty impressed. Usually when you accelerate, you know, putting it to the floor, it just kind of blows past its RPM range where it's effective, and then it feels kind of weak or sluggish or just not impressive. This one's good. This one feels solid. And the ride quality, as far as like the suspension and everything, it feels pretty smooth. You know, one of the things filming in vehicles, if you have a bumpy ride, then it's hard to get smooth footage, right? So this one is really nice. I'm really impressed with the ride quality. And I like this steering wheel fairly well. I like the way it's squared off here, so I have better visibility. You know, it obstructs a little bit on the screen, but they designed it to where there's nothing down there anyway, which is nice. And it's kind of a different experience looking way over there sometimes, looking at stuff. But, you know, it's nothing really important. I mean, the clock is over there, so I'm kind of like glancing over there sometimes, but it's just kind of interesting that you have to you have like this huge screen in front of you. It's a little bit different. Hear a little bit of road noise, a little bit of wind noise, like just very subtle, you know, just a little bit of outside noises. It's not like overly loud or anything, and it's no problem having a conversation with somebody inside the vehicle just without hollering. So yeah, that's all good. The sound system is okay. I mean, it depends on what you play, and also it depends on how you have it set. You know, I had some issues with some of the songs that I was playing. It had it's kind of like a droning noise, or, you know, like a muffled sound. So I think it depends on what you play and how you have it set. So it was a little bit, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I was experiencing there, but yeah, it might just be something unique to this vehicle, or it could just be something going on with my phone or something, playing through the Bluetooth. But, you know, it's okay. I mean, it's fine, but, you know, there's a little bit of a different experience. Speaking of a different experience, these little things right here, seems like they've copied this from Lexus, where you have nothing on the buttons, but you have, when you put your fingers on it, it pops up here on the screen. And then as you press buttons, it might change what these do as you press buttons, you know. So as I turn on the cruise control, then all of a sudden there's more buttons here. And so yeah, it's, go ahead and hit resume here. But yeah, I don't really care for that. I mean, it's okay. On this vehicle, it's actually not too bad. It's not as much multiple steps as, say, the Lexus. This one's more linear. Like, you can go ahead and just press the button like that, and it registers what you want, versus you have to have the screen pop up first. You don't have to wait. You can just, if you know what the button does, you can just go ahead and press it, and it'll go ahead and do it. Lexus, you have to press your finger on there, let it pop up, and then you press the button. Otherwise, it won't recognize it. So as far as that system, definitely works better than a Lexus in my experience anyway, unless they change something over on the Lexus side. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. We have the blend, had the background images, we had the map going on, radio, clock, and then you have the weather and stuff going on way over there. And yeah, I guess it's kind of neat. I hadn't really had any issues with transferring my focus from these screens to the road, so it's a good distance away. Also, sun glare hasn't really been an issue, which I was kind of surprised, which has been off and on cloudy, but still, it hasn't really been an issue as I thought it was going to be, because, you know, there's no cover over these screens. So apparently they're bright enough, and they have enough, you know, they're designed to handle the sunlight, apparently. This little screen down here just seems a little bit out of place when you have all these other screens. I know you interact with this, but it doesn't have the same look and quality. It just kind of looks like this is the old screen, those are the new screens, something like that. I don't know, there's something about the screen that just looks a little bit tacked on. It doesn't have the same, you know, experience. I don't know, it just doesn't look as nice and as refined as those screens. Those look really good. Yeah, my biggest problem with this vehicle is somewhat as the seat comfort. Part of that is there's so many different ways you can adjust it to where it's hard to get adjusted right for me, or at least it was, you know, for me. It's still kind of like, I don't know, there's too many adjustments, and the seat seems a little bit too small for me. The overall vehicle seems a little bit too, like the seat and the floorboard seems too small for me. It's actually not legroom, it's feet room. It's kind of interesting. You know, I haven't really experienced this too many times, especially to this degree, to where my foot does not even fit on the footrest here to the left, and it barely fits over there with the accelerator and brake. There's like stuff in the way, like where my feet are. So yeah, that's not good. Like there's literally, when I try to put the brake, there's actually like something right above it, and you know, I kind of like bump my foot on something before I hit the brake, and it's kind of getting in the way. So yeah, that's like the biggest negative to me is the feet room, which is like the oddest thing in the world. Feet room, that's what the problem is. How can that be? But that's what it seems like. I've never experienced that to this. I mean, really, I haven't really experienced it like this. Very, very odd. So if you have like size 13 feet, you know, size 12, I mean, really, like, unless you're size 10 or less in men's, then you're probably going to have a little bit of an issue with this. It's very odd. Other than that, the overall driving dynamics of the vehicle is very good. The ride quality, the handling, the acceleration, braking, visibility. And I like the way, you know, you can see the hood. You know, there's the screens and stuff are not obstructing anything there in the front. And pillar's narrow, there's no problems with visibility. So yeah, even though we have all these screens and a non-traditional dash, they don't basically go overboard to where it's like messing up your visibility here in the front like other vehicles. You know, maybe Toyota, something like that. But yeah, I really like it. It's just there's like the deal killer is the you know, me being able to put my feet. Now basically the more comfortable position is when I put my leg like this instead of down on the footrest. The footrest is almost unusable to me, really. It really is uncomfortable. So really my only comfortable position is here, and luckily this floor is flat right there, so I can kind of get in position here. Now the lane keep assist system works really good on highways, but on back roads, you know, kind of tends to wander a little bit, and it doesn't have a grip sensor. It only has a torque sensor, and that's another issue. So as you're driving, you can have both hands on on the steering wheel. Okay, I'm gonna have both hands on the steering wheel, and we'll see how long before, if I'm not turning it, I just have my hands here. Keep hands on the steering wheel, and as you can see, my hands are on the steering wheel. All right, so I have to jiggle it, right? I have to jiggle it. Otherwise, it doesn't know, because it relies only on a torque sensor, not a grip sensor. The vehicles with a grip sensor, you literally just barely put your hands on the steering wheel and it senses them, right? So this one is, and you know, other people have mentioned this to me as well, that as you're driving, it's constantly bugging you to keep your hands on the steering wheel, you know? So even though your hands are on the steering wheel, so it's a little bit of an issue at times, especially on on a really straight road or something like that on the highway. You don't have to really turn that much. You just kind of you're just holding the wheel, and it doesn't, since you're not turning the wheel, then it, you know, gives you those warnings, and yeah, a little bit of a problem. It also has this little camera system right here, which watches your face. And for whatever reason, you know, you're holding the steering wheel like this, right? Or whatever. If the camera can't see your face and your eyes, then it's going to flip out and start and give you like a warning and everything. So let me cover it up and see how long before it flips out. Watch the road, see? So that's another thing that pops up. Not resume control. I'm holding the steering wheel. So yeah, it's another nanny feature that is not without its issues. You know, it's not a like, it doesn't work properly. Same thing with the steering. You know, there's certain things, features that it has that doesn't work properly. It's not super refined. So it's going to get in the way. It's going to be a roadblock as far as you trying to enjoy the vehicle and just driving the vehicle. It's going to be it's going to impede your ability to use the vehicle without frustration. You know, it's like, you know, and it's not uncommon. You know, like, it's not just this brand. There's lots of brands that have these features that they're implementing that are not refined. It's like the torque sensor. For one thing about the torque sensor on the lane keep assist system is that it's not super sensitive. Like, there's other vehicles that have a super sensitive torque sensor. So even though your hands are not turning that much, it can sense just the slightest pressure on the steering wheel. And then it doesn't bug you as much, right? Even though it doesn't have a grip sensor. Grip sensor is best, right? That's the best. But if you're gonna rely solely on a grip sensor to where it's going to bug you, or it's gonna beep at you if it doesn't you know, think your hands are on the steering wheel, then you need to have it more sensitive. But yeah, so a little bit of corner cutting on the grip sensor. Number one. Second is the torque sensor isn't that super sensitive, so I'm constantly having to jiggle the steering wheel or whatever. You know, like, there's times in which on this road it's not really a big deal because I'm constantly turning because the road isn't straight. It's those, you know, straight highway runs that become just a hassle, you know. And you know, that's the times which you pay for a feature and then you might as well just turn it off because it's driving you nuts. So yeah, and like this little camera system, there's lots of times for some reason. I mean, it's not like you know, looking at the floorboard or anything. I'm looking at the road and I'm driving, and for whatever reason, my hand's in the way or something, then it's like beeping at me, telling me to watch the road when I'm watching the road, you know. And then, you know, I make sure my arms are not obstructing the camera, and then, as you saw, it still kind of like accelerates the warning, even though I'm looking at the road, my hands are on the steering wheel, and it's like, I don't know, it's just a little bit not fun, especially when you're in the vehicle with other people, right? And you're trying to have a conversation and you're constantly interrupted. You know, the technology, especially a vehicle, is supposed to be an extension of you, right? It's supposed to amplify your capabilities, but also your enjoyment. You know, it shouldn't get in the way. It should be the background, you know, and facilitate your needs, and not try to interject and facilitate its needs, you know. So yeah, those are a couple things that could be improved for sure. But overall, I mean, if I had smaller feet, I guess, had like you know, smaller feet, and I had it was able to nail the comfort on the seat, which I haven't really been able to do. I've been playing around with it for days now, trying to get the seat comfortable. It's okay right now. I got it to where it's tolerable, but at least it's not uncomfortable right now. But it's not a soft seat. It looks good. It's just not a soft seat. I mean, I think all these adjustments in there, has all these motors and you know, pivot points and all this stuff. I guess there's not enough room in there for cushion, you know. So it's like you have to kind of, it's not soft, so you have to just kind of position it right. Otherwise, you have all these pressure points. But yeah. It's interesting. I mean, it is an interesting vehicle, and it's kind of exciting to see something quite a bit different. But then it has some, you know, things that has to be discussed. I can't like show you this vehicle without mentioning certain things that just stand out, blaringly obvious. Like, who test drove? Like when they when they designed it, like, was it really, really small people that's the only people that drove it? Is there anybody with 12 or 13 size shoe that got in it and drove it and like, hey, we need to do something about this feet room? I can't believe I'm saying that. It's like feet room. That's the issue. In 2025 model, there's a vehicle that doesn't have enough room for a foot. Very, very strange. Or something getting in the way where it's right above the brake pedal. And so yeah, it's kind of like get my foot wedged between the floor and the whatever that bump is up there, trying to get to the brake pedal, which is not good. I mean, that's, I want to be able to get to that brake pedal if I need to very fast. And if there's an issue with that, that's not good. So things to consider. But yeah, I would say take one for a test drive because it is different and it is unique. It has some pretty cool features and it is comfortable as far as the ride quality and everything. And if you're comfortable in this seat, you're able to have enough, your feet aren't too big and stuff like that, then I think a lot of people would actually like this vehicle. There's just certain things that, maybe they'll, change with a software update or something where, I don't know, the steering assist system, the warnings with the camera and all that stuff, maybe they're able to tone that down a little bit. But yeah, interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like what direction are they going? Is this a vehicle designed for like women and that's it? That would make sense because women are typically smaller, so they have smaller feet, and they don't weigh as much, so maybe they don't need as much cushioning in the seat or something. And so yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe that's what it is. I mean, that would probably make sense if you're just kind of like designing the vehicle for a certain demographic or something like that. But yeah, trying to figure it out why it would be designed in a way to where it's very, very limited on who can drive it comfortably and all that stuff.